Well, we're at our first stop of 15 stops here in Bynum Two Medicine Dinosaur Center. Oh, I tell you, the drive from Browning to here is just a long haul through what seems to be high plateau prairies and open rangeland. It's got some interesting places to pull off. We passed a huge buffalo herd, and there's places up here where some people you've seen throw their tennis shoes up over the power lines. Well, they've got barbed wire fences out here filled with all types of teddy bears attached to it. It's really bizarre. So we're going to go in to our first stop here, the Two Medicine Dinosaur Center, and check it out on our dinosaur trip through Montana. I'm glad you guys could join us on this journey, and let's check it out. As you enter the exhibit, you see on your left a huge display of a hadrosaur, which is a duck-billed dinosaur. It's presented in the same way that it was discovered in the hills in Montana before excavation and brought to the research center. Here is an odd-looking bumpy-head dinosaur they're working on. I don't know his name, but that's a heck of a lump on his head he's got. Here are various fossilized dinosaur eggs with an ostrich egg on the left as a comparison. This is a dinosaur nest of eggs that the paleontologist has been working on going on 3 years now, carefully taking the dirt out around the eggs and exposing them. This is actually the bottom half, because the way that these fossils are preserved when found is that they use a mixture of burlap and plaster over the top, then slowly chisel underneath it to find the bottom of it before breaking off the pedestal, wrapping the bottom half. Transportation. Let's let the resident paleontologist explain what's in this jacket of fossils next.
The Bob Block is a cast of our largest jacket that we ever made. Weighed about 11,000 pounds when we pulled it. This is a mix of several Dinosaurs, so one of our local Tyrannosaurs, both adults and juveniles, and about 2 to 3 hadrosaurs that are coming out of here. So the Bob Block raises a lot of questions for us for paleo history, especially regarding how they all got stacked this way and why we see this increase in Dinosaurs, our carnivores, versus a very limited number of hadrosaurs. So this animal here came out of the Bob Block. This is one of the skulls that came out. This is from one of our more adult animals. You can sort of see like the size of our lower jaw, the size of our maxilla. Now compared to our lower jaw here, this is from our juvenile that we have come out. You can see that size difference. We also have differences here where this is our more adult pelvis. You can see the size of our actual hip socket compared to our hip socket from our juvenile. Right here is the pubis of our juvenile. Our theropods have a beautiful keel that forms at the end of it compared to the pubis here at the end of our hadrosaur. We don't really see that. So we have this mixing and this stacking taking place for the Bob. I'm just going to check back here real quick.
And up there, overlooking all of us, is the skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Some other representations of how fossils have been found. These are more of what they call field jackets, where they dig the fossil out, prep it for transportation to bring it back to the research station here and start working on. This Two Medicine Dinosaur site is a field research site. So they do a great deal of research. They go out to the field, bring the dinosaur bones back in the jackets of burlap and plaster and begin the long, long task of digging the bones out of the rock. Here's a scale model of one of the dinosaurs, huge plant eater. It belongs to a similar group as a Brontosaurus. Here's some other fossils they found, saber-toothed tigers and such, cave bears. Here's a jacket of dinosaur eggs that they're slowly working on. Well, that was a great first stop on our Trail of the Dinosaurs here in Bynum, Montana. I think I said that name right. So now we're on to our campsite for tonight. Well, we've been traveling for probably 45 minutes out here in the plains. We finally got to a spot where we're getting to the foot of the mountains. Teton Pass out here. Whoa, here's the road. The road ends here. I guess now we're on the old North Trail. And I tell you, I come up with some pretty interesting road trips. I know where I'm going, but I'm never quite sure of what I'm going to see. So, we're not that far away from the campsite according to GPS, so let's see. We've got a beautiful river alongside of us here, and this is definitely going into the mountains. We've got a well-made beaver dam here, crystal clear water in the pond. Let's see if we can find where the beaver hut is. I just love finding places like this. Well, I didn't find the beaver hut, but the rocks here going up this canyon are pretty impressive. Just beautiful. That there is Indian Head Rock. I guess if you have a good imagination, you might be able to see the face of an Indian there. Well, the road's gotten quite a bit worse, but the scenery is just getting better and better. This is amazing. We gotta be close to this place by now. Well, there's a warning sign through my bug-infested windshield. Yep, no doubt. I see a lot of scat from some big creature along the roadway here. This is quite some beautiful country, though. The ruggedness of the mountains and the river down below, fantastic. Well, we gotta be close. Gotta be around the next bend. Well, finally, I was starting to get a little worried out here. The road still goes, but this is the campgrounds here. We are in a very narrow valley, very high, rough rocks. I don't know if there's caves out here or not. There's no signs pointing to any caves. It's just the place is called cave campgrounds. So, anyway, this is, I guess, a developed BLM campground. It's $5 a night if you have the Golden Pass, Senior Pass, and it's nicely done for $5 a night. There's 13 spots out here. What few places are left are now gone. So I'm glad I got out here when I did. The flies are nasty, but thank goodness I've got the bug netting on the doors in my RV, so that sure comes in handy in weather like this. This campground has nice pit toilets, and it's got a well pump down here for fresh water, which is pretty darn nice. Here's our campsite. As far as the width of the campground area, this was the best out of what was left. So we backed in, and the dogs are very happy. Got ourselves a nice campsite here. There's some beautiful views up here in this little camping ground. Beautiful views of the river, the jagged, oddly shaped mountains. It's just a wonderful mixture of nature. Well, except for the thunder showers we had yesterday up by Glacier, it's been rather humid. Even the dogs are hot and sweaty. Kate's trying to get sleepers out of her eyes. But before sunset, let's go back down to the riverside and enjoy the crystal clear water and the scenery. This is our present sleeping situation here, and I got a foam memory cushion cut out underneath it, just a little wider than the sleeping bag, and each dog gets a triangular pie piece on each side of me to stretch out and sleep. Of course, they don't sleep on me like this, but they stretch out and they use their own little area that they have. But this has worked really, really well. It's easy to put away, easy to set up, and I'm not dealing with a queen-size heavy sleeping bag trying to stuff it in the overhead area I have above my cab. So this has been a big, big improvement in how we sleep together at night. So as the girls and I always say, we wish you happy trails and woof woof.